Subscribe to Grazia and press on the bell icon.
Hi, and thank you so much for joining us today, Priyanka. You have a very, very busy schedule up ahead. There's a book, there's a big movie coming up, and there you are, all ready for a full day of press ahead.
Part of the job, Mehernaaz, what to do now?
It's amazing. I mean, you're in London, we're in Bombay, but let's go. So, one of the first things we wanted to ask you is, when did you first realize that you had a story about yourself that you actually wanted to share with the world?
I've always sort of, now having been in the business for almost 20 years, I've always known that there's curiosity about my story, and most of the time people just make up their own stories. So I just decided that I'll tell my side of it. But I think it came from actually, working towards this milestone of 20 years in the entertainment business. And, I wanted to commemorate that somehow. I've written op-eds and stuff like that, opinion pieces, but I've never really written structured writing like a book or a screenplay, which is something I've always wanted to do. So I thought the easiest way would be a memoir, not realizing that actually that was the hardest direction to go into.
So, did you get help while you were doing this, or did you set up a process all by yourself? I know that writers have a process. Did you set this up for yourself, or did you have a fabulous team helping you out with a little bit of things?
No, I did set it up all myself. I always knew what the book was going to be. I had a co-author, Nan Satter, who helped me, sort of structure the book in a way, because I've never really written a book and she'd done many. But what I did was, I was going to start writing it in 2018. That's when I did my deal with Penguin. But I couldn't write anything. I didn't have the time. I was filming, there's a lot that happened in my life. And then quarantine happened and we were all forced home. And I sort of took that as a window to open up the writing process. And when I went back in my memories, I realized that I'd been running so fast for such a long time that I'd forgotten the little things that had happened in my life. So I went back and I wrote milestones, like my first memory, my first school, what did I remember? I wrote down milestones and I made it like a road map almost.
Yes.
And then I called up everyone who was in those milestones and I corroborated my memories, and that's how I filled it up. And then it just flowed out of me. I don't know what happened during this quarantine, that I'd never dealt with or dissected my thoughts and my feelings more than I've done when I started writing this book. It sort of became like my diary or my journal. And I was terrified. Before I could stop the presses, it got printed.
Yay. Do you think that there is a chapter in your book that kind of brought back the fondest and happiest memories?
Oh, yeah.
Did you constantly revisit things in your head?
Oh, yeah. Good memories, bad memories. The thing about this book and how it's turned out to be is it's not like a compilation of my achievements or, my laurels. It could have been. But what it ended up becoming is a dissection of my feelings, my failures. It's a lot more personal than how I intended it to be. So there are some really visceral, happy memories. There's some really visceral, sad memories. There's a lot of that peppered through the book.
So what would you say was your favorite chapter?
I mean, that's like asking me what my favorite time of my life was.
We'll have some lists around.
No, I think the book is a journey of, how I started and what contributed to me being who I am. And I'm hoping whoever reads the book will get a little familiar with me as a human being, as a girl, as a person, more than, dinner table conversation or just someone who you see on your Instagram post.
Since you've talked about memories as when you were a younger person, is there something that you came across during the process of writing, kind of I would say life advice that you'd give to your younger self?
Oh, most of this book has that tone, actually. It's really funny you mentioned that. I was going to call this book letters to my younger self, but then I didn't like the title. It was too long. But that's really the tone of the book. Like me now on the other side of 35, I'm like, all right, young Pri, what are you doing? Like a lot of the book has notes for myself, and the one advice that I definitely give myself very often in the book is pride goeth before a fall.
And just general life lessons that you think your book shares? Anything that you want to highlight in particular?
I think
apart
the one
from, of course,
thing,
your notes to yourself.
well, really the one thing I feel is, I come from a small town, a very unassuming background. And, I'm sitting here with a memoir now, and talking to you about it. And I've had a career I'm proud of. I'm very self-made. And, everything that I've done has been my own achievements and failures. So I hope that whoever reads the book sort of feels a sense of, if she can do it, I can do it too, because it's the truth.
Right. Is there something that you actively have edited out of this book?
Definitely.
See, that's what we also want to know.
But there's also a lot that I'm shocked I've kept in the book. Like, I'm shocked. I'm telling you, it happened so fast that by the time I had the ability to, edit even more or stop it, it kind of just got printed. So
that's amazing.
It's out of my hands now. I'm terrified.
So now that it's out of your hands, tell me something. Are you going to read your book reviews? Also, as an actor, do you actually... I know that most of y'all switch off from some kind of reviews and stuff, but maybe a book review is something that maybe you're going to follow. Is it the same when it comes to films, or you're going to treat that a little differently?
I'm used to my work being critiqued. That's sort of been my job. I'm also used to being critiqued, even though I'm not a head of state. But I think that when it comes to the book, it's the story of my life. So I think that I've treated it like a journal, and I always read reviews. Reviews are, I like to know what people think, even though I'm very acutely aware of the fact that I don't work to pander or to please everyone.
Please them.
My work is very, very individual to me, and my choices and opinions at that point. But I always love knowing people's opinions, because that makes you aware of the next step you want to take. And who knows, if I ever want to write another book, I'd love to get notes. But this is more my life, so I don't want any critique on my life. But my writing style, I know I've learned a lot, and there's, things that I would edit in the way I write if I ever write another book.
And coming to the story behind the title of your book, anything anecdotal you want to share with us about why you picked what you picked?
Well, it's funny actually. I was doing that 73 questions for Vogue many years ago, and one of the questions was if there was ever a memoir on your life, what would you call it? And jokingly I said unfinished, because that's what I felt at that point. And I was like, there's so much I want to do, and it just felt appropriate, and it felt very honest to where I am right now, and very honest to what I want to do going forward.
And if you had a soundtrack to add to your book, what do you think? What would you make it?
There are so many. I don't know if you know the song, but I was working out to it this morning. I would, my soundtrack probably would be, are you here? Hello?
She's there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I just lost you for a second. Sorry.
Hello? I'm here.
Yeah. I was really vibing to Vibe Hai by Divine this morning. And I was like, that sounds like the soundtrack of my life. Vibe Hai.
That sounds like fun. And okay, now that we've talked about all of this, how would you best like to be remembered?
For having contributed to the arts, I think, since that's the vocation of my choice, it's my job, and I want to be able to have contributed and sort of left it in a better place than I inherited it, by maybe creating opportunities or maybe doing the kind of work that's inspiring, not just for myself, but for generations that come after me. And, being able to create space for girls and be able to do roles that, you know, were unconventional or not considered for women. I want to be able to push the envelope. So I'd like to be remembered for that if I have.
Amazing. And congratulations again. Two big things coming up in the next 2 weeks. Are you finding a balance to kind of promote? I know I saw you a couple of days doing promotions for White Tiger. So a balance between the book and the movie right now?
Yeah, I mean, the whole day goes in trying to figure out if I'm speaking to someone about the book or if I'm speaking to someone about the movie or if I'm doing both. But you know, these are both my babies. I'm very proud of it. Yeah, we can talk totally. I'm fine with both. But The White Tiger as well is one of my first big executive producer movies in Hollywood, and I'm very proud of the movie as a whole. You know, I'm really pushing the kind of work I want to create outside of me as an actor, but as a producer. I want to really align with amazing South Asian stories in Hollywood. So this is one of my first in that direction. So I'm very excited about it. I'm proud of it. So I don't mind talking about that and the book or whatever else, you know.
Thank you so much. I'm getting a ticker on my time bomb with you. But thank you. Have a lovely day and all the very best with both of these and everything else coming up ahead. Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoy them both when you get a chance to see them.
We can't wait now that you've left us with these little interesting bits about the edits and all. Yeah, we're going to read on.
Oops.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, darling. Stay safe.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Mehernaaz.